That's what we're going to do. Over the past 4 years, Kamala Harris has orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has ever inflicted upon our people. She has eradicated our sovereign border, and she has unleashed an army of migrant gangs who are waging a campaign of violence and terror against our citizens. And my message today is very simple. Kamala's migrant invasion, given to us through gross incompetence, disqualifies her from even thinking about being president. We can't let that happen. No person who is responsible for so much bloodshed and death on our soil can ever be allowed to become the president of the United States. What she's done and he's done. Crooked Joe and Kamala, what a combination. Worst combination in the history of our country. And they've weaponized your government. They're a disgrace to our country. 4 years ago, we had the strongest, safest, and most secure border in U.S. history with the lowest level of illegal immigration ever achieved. 4 years ago. Put up the chart. Go ahead, put it up. My favorite chart. That was the lowest. That was the day I left office. We did great in 2016. We got millions more votes in 2020, but that's the way it goes. But this is this is bigger than anything. This is going to be the biggest and most important election ever. It's going to be the biggest political event, I believe, in our country's history. We have to win. And we don't need it for the big political event. We need it to save our country. When Kamala came in, she deliberately dismantled our border and threw open the gates. She threw them open. The gates to an invasion of criminal migrants from prisons and jails, from insane asylums and mental institutions, from all over the world, from Venezuela to the Congo in Africa. A lot of people coming out of the Congo. Not just South America. They're coming from 181 countries as of yesterday. Right, and we're a dumping ground. We're like a garbage can for the world. That's what's happened. That's what's happened to our. We're like a garbage can. You know, it's the first time I've ever said that. And every time I come up and talk about what they've done to our country, I get angrier and angrier. First time I've ever said garbage can, but you know what? It's a very accurate description. Meanwhile, she cruelly forced our border agents to help facilitate her wicked betrayal of America. And by the way, the Border Patrol last week gave us their complete and total endorsement, and they said she is the worst. I want to thank them. And they, at the same time, they said she is so bad, she's the worst, you can't have her. And they don't want to do that. It's probably not easy for them to do that. But you know what? They said she's horrible. She was the border czar, and she never made one phone call. Not only didn't she come to the border, she never made a phone call. And now, a few months ago, when she was getting killed, both of them, him and her, they were getting killed. They made it a little bit tougher, but they forgot to stop the airplanes going overhead. We said, how come those planes are still flying? Hundreds of thousands of people flown into our country, landing in our beautiful Midwest and other places, and they're devastated. You know what's happening to Springfield, Ohio, and Aurora and Colorado. What they're doing to our country. We are joined today by the former senior Border Patrol chief of the San Diego sector, Aaron Heit, an eyewitness to one of the most horrific scandals in American history carried out by Kamala. Well, she was appointed by this guy because he has to go to sleep every night at 4 o'clock. And she was appointed by him, and therefore she was the border czar, but she doesn't want to be called, so who cares what she is? She was appointed to take care of our border. We had the worst border, and now, and by the way, She also destroyed San Francisco, one of the greatest cities in the world, 15, 16 years ago. And California, when she was Attorney General, a disaster between her and Gavin Newsom is the worst. But it's deadly. What they've done is deadly. The open border policy is a disaster. Aaron, please come up and say a few words. Border Patrol.
I've never seen anything worse than the last 4 years that I've seen under the current administration. I had the pleasure of working for President Trump, and things were never better. I had the misfortune of spending the last 4 years watching our border be overrun. It's been nonstop. The agents' morale has been destroyed. It's been very difficult to watch. I testified in front of the Senate recently to get the word out. The public doesn't know. This administration has continued to say there's no threat at the border. We have a continuous threat, a serious threat at the border that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Aaron. And that's heartfelt, too. That's heartfelt. He just wants it to be straightened out, along with one of the incredible people. Getting their endorsement was my great honor. But it says something. And we had unanimous, thousands of people, unanimous. Who could ever get that? Because she's so bad. She's so bad. I watched last night. I don't watch CNN often. It's fake news. But I watched last night. Oh, oops, the camera just went off. I watched last night. She did a town hall. Honestly, it was pathetic. It was pathetic. There's never been anything like that. We can't let it happen. We can't. That's why you have to get everyone saying how well we're doing. You still get out. The people that haven't voted, get out and vote. We can't take a chance. We can't take a chance on this disaster continuing, because we won't have a country left if it does. The 4-year-long nightmare that Kamala Harris has forced your men to endure, your men, your women, your children, it's a nightmare for the whole planet, you want to know the truth, because we represent so much. We represent the American dream, the whole world.